Welcome to Fond Emotion. Have you ever pondered how relationships can make or break a story? Let's immerse ourselves in the world of storytelling, where relationships are the lifeblood. They weave the intricate tapestry of characters' lives, adding depth and dimension to their existences. They're the invisible threads that bind the narrative together, the pulsating heart at the center of every tale. Consider this. Without relationships, characters would merely be isolated islands, drifting aimlessly in a sea of plot. But when connections are forged, when bonds are formed, that's when the magic truly begins. Relationships breathe life into characters, making them more relatable, more human. They give them dreams to chase, battles to fight, and love to find. In essence, they provide the fuel that drives the plot forward. Imagine Romeo and Juliet without the passionate love story at its core, or The Lord of the Rings without the enduring friendship between Frodo and Sam. Would these stories have the same impact without the relationships that define them? Unlikely. These examples show just how vital relationships are in shaping narratives and leaving lasting impressions on audiences. Relationships also serve as a mirror, reflecting the character's strengths and flaws. They reveal the hero's vulnerabilities and the villain's redeemable traits. They push characters to their limits, compelling them to grow, to change, to evolve. They challenge them, test them, and sometimes break them. But it's through this process of breaking and mending that characters truly come alive. Yet it's not just about creating relationships, but how they are portrayed and developed over the course of the story. A well-crafted relationship can be as unpredictable as a roller coaster ride, filled with twists and turns that keep audiences on the edge of their seats. It can be a slow-burning flame that gradually intensifies, or a wildfire that engulfs everything in its path. Whatever form it takes, a well-drawn relationship adds layers of complexity and richness to the narrative. So, as we journey into the heart of storytelling, let's remember that relationships aren't just a side note, they're the main melody. They're not the backdrop, they're the stage upon which the drama unfolds. They're the soul of the story, the essence of its being. Today, we delve into a movie script that beautifully portrays and mends relationships. Our movie of interest is a rich tapestry of complex relationships. Imagine a world where every character is as real as you and me, each with their unique quirks, dreams, and fears. Our stage is set in this very world. Here we meet our main characters, individuals of varying backgrounds, each carrying their own baggage. We have the charismatic leader, the silent observer, the dreamer, and the skeptic. They are as diverse as they come, but they share one thing in common. They are all entwined in a web of relationships, each more intricate than the last. Their interactions are the heart of our story, a mirror reflecting the realities of life. Each relationship is a delicate dance of emotions, filled with moments of joy, sorrow, anger, and peace. They reveal the characters' deepest vulnerabilities and their greatest strengths. But as we all know, relationships can get complicated. As the plot unfolds, the strain in relationships starts to show. This is where the real drama begins, where the heroes and heroines of our story start to reveal their true colors. It's in these scenes where the cracks begin to appear that we see the depth of their relationships, their vulnerabilities, and their unspoken insecurities. Consider the scene where they have their first major disagreement. It starts off innocently enough, a casual conversation that gradually escalates into a full-blown argument. Their words are sharp, their tones heated. It's in this moment that we see the first signs of strain, the first indications that their relationship isn't as solid as it once seemed. Or take the scene where one character discovers a secret the other has been hiding. The sense of betrayal is palpable, the hurt evident in their eyes. Here, the strain isn't just visible, it's tangible. It's a moment of realization, a moment where the characters and the audience begin to question the strength of their bond. And then there's the scene where the characters are forced to confront their differences. They're not just arguing anymore, they're questioning their relationship, their compatibility. The strain is no longer just a crack, it's a chasm threatening to split them apart. Each of these scenes plays a crucial role in the overall plot. They're not just random moments of conflict, they're pivotal points in the narrative, each one contributing to the mounting tension, the escalating drama. They're the scenes that challenge the characters, that test their resolve, that push them to their limits. But it's not all doom and gloom. These scenes, as tense and as difficult as they may be, are also the scenes that show us the character's potential for growth. They're the scenes that remind us that relationships, even the strongest ones, have their ups and downs. They're the scenes that make us root for the characters, that make us hope for reconciliation, for a resolution. And so, as the plot continues to unfold, as the strain in the relationships becomes more and more apparent, we find ourselves at a crucial juncture. Now the characters are at a crossroads. Every story has its climax, the breaking point. And so we arrive at the pivotal scene where the relationships of our characters reach their zenith of tension. This is the moment where everything they've held onto, every unsaid word, every unshed tear, every suppressed emotion, all come to a head. The breaking point is an essential cog in the machinery of the plot because it's here that we see our characters in their rawest forms. Stripped of pretenses and masks, they reveal their true selves, their vulnerabilities, their fears, and their deepest desires. It's a moment of revelation not just for them, but for us, the audience as well. We see them not as mere characters in a story, but as reflections of our own humanity. In this scene, we witness the culmination of all the conflicts, misunderstandings, and hurt. The characters are pushed to their limits, and they can no longer hide from the reality of their broken relationships. It's a moment of truth, a moment of reckoning. It's here that they must confront not just each other, but themselves as well. And it's not just about the characters. The breaking point also serves to heighten the drama, increase the stakes, and keep the audience on the edge of their seats. It's a turning point, a point of no return. The characters can't go back to how things were. They must either move forward or remain stuck in their pain. But the breaking point is more than just a plot device. It's a mirror held up to us, the audience. It forces us to question our own relationships, our own breaking points. It makes us wonder if we were in their shoes, would we react the same way? Would we let our relationships reach a breaking point? Or would we do everything in our power to prevent it? The relationships seem beyond repair, but is it really the end? Remember, the breaking point is not the end, but rather the beginning of a new chapter. It's a catalyst for change, for growth, for healing. And who knows? Maybe it's just the wake-up call our characters need to start mending their broken relationships. Just when all hope seems lost, the healing begins. In this scene, our characters embark on the precarious journey of mending what has been broken. The path to reconciliation is often paved with discomfort, vulnerability, and the audacity to face one's own mistakes. It's not an overnight transformation, but a series of small, deliberate steps taken towards each other. The characters' actions at this stage are not grand gestures, but subtle shifts in their attitudes and behaviors. It's the softening of a harsh tone, the willingness to listen without interrupting, the courage to apologize without justifications. These actions might seem insignificant, but they are the building blocks of trust and understanding, the cornerstones of any strong relationship. The words they say are equally important. Our characters start to communicate more openly and honestly. They share their fears, their regrets, their hopes for the future. They express their feelings not to blame or criticize, but to understand and be understood. They begin to talk with each other rather than at each other, opening up space for empathy and connection. They also start to acknowledge each other's perspectives. This doesn't mean agreeing with everything the other person says or does, but recognizing that their viewpoint is equally valid. They learn to agree to disagree, to respect each other's individuality while working towards a common goal. The characters also begin to let go of their past grudges and resentments. They realize that holding on to these negative emotions only serves to deepen the wounds and widen the distance between them. They choose forgiveness not because it's easy, but because it's necessary for their healing process. This scene beautifully illustrates the power of second chances. It reminds us that making amends requires patience, humility, and the willingness to change. It's a testament to the strength of the human spirit, the resilience of love, and the transformative power of forgiveness. These scenes show us that it's never too late to mend a broken relationship. As the movie nears its end, the relationships come full circle. We find ourselves in the resolution, the final scenes where the relationships that were once broken are now fully mended. This is where the magic happens. This is where the story reaches its crescendo, where the characters find what they've been seeking all along: unity, understanding, and love. The beauty of the resolution is in its simplicity. It's about the characters realizing that their relationships are more important than their differences. It's about them understanding that they are stronger together than they are apart. It's about them choosing love over conflict, unity over division. The characters have been through a tumultuous journey. They've had their fair share of disagreements, misunderstandings, and conflicts. But in the end, they've come to understand that these are mere bumps in the road, not insurmountable obstacles. They've learned that they can overcome these challenges by communicating, empathizing, and forgiving each other. In the resolution, the characters have also realized the value of their relationships. They've understood that it's not about being perfect, it's about being there for each other, supporting each other, and loving each other despite their flaws and imperfections. They've realized that their relationships are not just about them, but about the bigger picture, about contributing to each other's growth and happiness. The resolution does more than just wrap up the story. It ties up loose ends, answers lingering questions, and provides closure. But most importantly, it teaches us valuable lessons about relationships. It reminds us that relationships require effort, patience, and understanding. It shows us that conflicts are a part of any relationship, but they can be resolved through communication and empathy. It teaches us that relationships are about accepting each other as we are and loving each other unconditionally. And so, the story ends, but the lessons it teaches us about relationships remain. We're left with a greater understanding of what it means to love and be loved in return, of the power of forgiveness, and of the importance of nurturing our relationships. After all, relationships are the essence of life, and they deserve to be cherished, nurtured, and celebrated. So what can we learn from this movie about relationships? The movie offers a profound insight into the dynamics of relationships. It's a vivid portrayal of how relationships can crack under pressure, reach a breaking point, and yet, with enough effort and understanding, can start to heal and eventually resolve. It's a journey, a narrative arc that many of us have experienced in our lives. The power of relationships is a central theme in the movie. It's what drives the story forward. It's what makes us empathize with the characters. It's what keeps us glued to our seats, waiting to see what happens next. And this power, this emotional resonance, is a testament to the importance of relationships in our lives. As we delve into the story, we see the cracks that start to appear in relationships. These are not sudden, catastrophic events, but rather subtle indications of discord, like a slowly widening chasm. It's a reminder that relationships require constant care and attention, and even the smallest of issues, if left unaddressed, can create a rift. The movie then takes us to the breaking point, the moment when it all falls apart. It's a painful scene, but it's also a turning point. It's the moment of realization, the point where the characters understand that things cannot go on as they are. As we move forward, we witness the healing process. It's slow, it's difficult, and it's fraught with setbacks, but it's also beautiful. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, to our innate ability to mend and heal, no matter how broken we may seem. The resolution is a celebration of this healing process. It's a testament to the power of forgiveness, understanding, and love. It's a reminder that relationships, no matter how strained, can be repaired. Remember, relationships are the heart and soul of any story. And just like in real life, they can be mended, no matter how broken they seem. Thank you for joining me on this journey through a movie script. And with that, we find ourselves at the end of our exploration. I hope this deep dive into the dynamics of restoring broken relationships in a movie script has given you food for thought, sparked new ideas, or simply provided you with a fresh perspective. Remember, every story is a mirror of life, and life is a tapestry of relationships. We connect, we disconnect, we hurt, we heal, we grow. And it's these intricate dynamics that make our stories compelling, relatable, and uniquely human. So as you craft your narratives, whether they're for the big screen, a novella, or a simple bedtime story, don't shy away from exploring the complexities of relationships. It's in the heartache and the healing, the conflict and the resolution, where the true essence of your story lies. It's these real, raw emotions that draw your audience in, that make them root for your characters, that leave them with a lingering thought or a profound realization long after they've turned the final page or the credits have rolled. So let your characters stumble and fall, let them make mistakes and learn from them, let their relationships crack and break and mend again. Because it's in these moments of strife and reconciliation that your audience sees themselves, feels understood, and finds a connection that transcends the realm of fiction. In the end, storytelling is all about forging connections, evoking emotions, and leaving an indelible mark on your audience's heart. And what better way to do that than through the power of relationships? So, as we sign off, I encourage you to think about the relationships in your own stories. How can you make them more realistic, more compelling? How can you use them to bring your characters to life, to drive your narrative, to touch your audience's heart? Remember, the power of relationships in storytelling is immense. Harness it, explore it, and let it guide you as you weave your narratives. Until next time, keep exploring the power of relationships in storytelling.